Charles Miller is here with Scenic Neurotherapy, and he picked such a good topic to focus on this morning that I'm going to be like the guinea pig in the conversation, because the topic is the importance of and how to stay mentally active so that your brain kind of is always getting stimuli and input into it. And yet here you and I sat and I had a hard time knowing how to introduce you because my brain's gone kaput. So good to see you.
Good to see you too. Yeah, it's easy to get lost in the moment, thinking about either what just happened before or overthinking what's coming, and then right now gets neglected.
Okay, so often when you're here, Charles, we talk, rightly so, about PTSD and depression, the mental health, like true mental health side of what you see. But the truth is, if you have a brain, you have mental health.
Yeah.
And so we hear a lot, I hear a lot in my circle of friends about feeling overwhelmed, you never have enough time, I can't get it all done. Those are daily things, but if they're left unaddressed, they can create a bigger problem.
Oh, most definitely. If we spend the majority of our life in trying to anticipate the infinite probability of everything that could possibly happen tomorrow, we end up neglecting right now. And we do spend time planning, we spend time, and for good reason. But at the same time too, there's only so much we can actually plan or control. So spending an excess amount of time fretting about what may or may not happen tomorrow takes away from our ability to really engage with all this amazing wonderfulness that's happening here in the moment.
Okay, I'm going to use my life as an example. If it gets obnoxious, just cut me off, but probably what I'm experiencing, a lot of other people are too.
Yeah.
Time. So when you say what we're feeling in the moment, what we want to do to enjoy the moment, and I think a lot of people are saying, yeah, that sounds great, Charles, but I have no time for the moment because I have to do so much else. Does that sound fair?
It does sound fair. It does sound fair. And you do have to do so many other things. We keep adding to our plate. We see a 15-minute gap in the middle of our day. We find something to fill that gap.
Yeah.
That's not a mentally healthy practice. That's something we've adapted to over the last, say, 20 years or so.
Yesterday, I had a chance to work from home. It was like an administrative day for me, and it was a different way to use my brain. And it was very productive, and I loved it. And when I made my little list of things, I carved out in there, because I knew my brain was going to get tired, to go sweep by my garage and give myself a little bit of a break. Are those snippets good?
Yeah, well, you don't need much. We don't need, hours and hours focusing on just right now. We don't need hours of meditation. We need quiet time for our brain. The ability to, this is why it's so mentally healthy to, I think we mentioned earlier, play a board game or work on a puzzle. Because when you're working on a puzzle, you're looking at that piece, that one piece you're trying to fit at that moment, or to try to find pieces that go in a specific place. You're not thinking about that conversation you had yesterday, and overthinking it, or thinking about all of the things we have planned for tomorrow, because pulling you into the moment, when we're in any given moment, if you stop and think about the moment you're in and the level of stress that your brain is under, if it's only from that moment, most moments are very manageable. We get overwhelmed, not by what's happening, but by what might happen or what did happen, which we have no control over right now.
Kind of like the power of, if you're angry or something or scared or whatever, you're told to breathe in for a minute. Did you stop, let your mind catch up with your emotion, and then move forward.
Focused breathing, so that's slow, deep breathing in and out. They're like, 3 to 5 seconds in, 3 to 5 seconds out. You stop and you're counting and you're thinking about breathing.
Okay.
Once again, pulling you back into that moment.
I want to go back to the board game or the puzzle or something like that, because often when you're here, you talk about the brain's power and ability to heal itself, so to speak. So if you do take 5 minutes, that'll probably quickly become 15, to sit down and try to solve that puzzle or play Scrabble by yourself, which I do, it allows your brain to kind of heal. The noise goes away.
The noise goes down, and it takes time for it to build back up. You don't have to, be mentally calm all the time. Our brain is meant to work like a muscle is meant to be used. But when we talk about a muscle, it makes more sense to people. But when you exercise a muscle, you're not building it, you're tearing it down. And then when you rest, the muscle builds itself.
Okay, let's talk exercise for a minute. Not everybody wants to play a Scrabble game by themselves, or sometimes it's going to be rainy, you can't go for a walk outside, that type of thing. Is it true that there's power in punching? Like if you had a pillow or a punching bag and you...
It's definitely an outlet, and it's
I've
better
heard
than
that it
punching
is.
people. So it's like punching a pillow, punching a punching bag, getting out physical frustration in a way that is, you know, through movement or through exercise and whatever speaks to you. Some people it's dance. Some people, you know, it's my daughter, she loves to dance. That's kind of her outlet.
Right.
From the stress of the day. But it's you know, physical activity improves cerebral perfusion, increasing the stress you can be under at that any given moment. So you need to think something through, think about it on the treadmill.
Once upon a time in America, you had like 2 15-minute breaks in the course of a work day. Like they were kind of built in for people. There's something powerful too about that span of time, a 15-minute power nap, whatever it is. So if you are working in an office setting, give yourself permission to walk away for a minute and do something different.
Yeah, as you sit, your blood pressure settles, your vitals all kind of stabilize. There's not a lot of variability. So it's good to get up every hour and just walk around. Just 1 hour. You don't just make a lap around the office if you have to and then come right back to your desk and keep working. You'll find you've increased your blood pressure, increasing cerebral perfusion.
Without your phone in your hand.
Preferably without your phone in your hand. Don't seek another distraction. Let the brain just like be for
When my first daughter was born, I remember being told by a book or something that it was a good idea as a new mom to take like 15 minutes and be by yourself. And I thought, what are you kidding? I was so accustomed to not being alone. I was afraid to be, I didn't know how to do it anymore. Does that make sense?
Absolutely, absolutely. Everything is about something else outside of you all the time when you're a new parent that, you know, almost do forget how to just be.
And I think that's happened to all of us now with the outside stimulation we can have.
Well, there's always noise now. You know, when you and I were growing up, you know, we didn't have the stimulation we have now. We were so bored sometimes.
Right.
And that's not a bad thing.
And look what we created.
And yeah, exactly.
Right.
Here we are now on television.
I'm being told that I have to go, but we could talk for hours. You can come and talk to him if you are going through anything, whether it's kind of as trivial as this might seem, but it's not trivial, or something far more important that really is making it difficult for you to enjoy your life the way you deserve to. At sceniccityneuroTherapy.com, that's the website, 228-0579. Consultations are free, and he will be just as interested in you when you're there in his office as he is in talking to me right now. Thanks.
Thank you.